What's going on, guys? So we're going to talk about psychology because I feel like, especially in our trading space, we're learning about psychology the wrong way. Because I'm a firm believer, you have to work on your personal development. You have to work on yourself first, right? And then that's going to start leading on to how you trade in the markets. It's not the other way around. It's not going to be you become a successful trader, then you work on yourself. No, because a lot of us, we are coming into this industry kind of the same way, right? We have expectations of making a lot of money. We want to be financially free, right? We want to quit our jobs. But the problem is we're coming into this trading craft with the mindset of a 9-to-5 person. And it doesn't work that way as being a trader or even becoming an entrepreneur. So you have to go through a cleanse. You have to change who you are to become your higher self. And this is the hardest thing ever, because if you're not changing your environment, if you're not around people that are doing it, you're not going to understand how to do it or even if it's possible. And this is exactly why I have my private community, because we are all in the group with the same goals. We all dedicate ourselves to this craft. We all want to quit our jobs and we all want to trade full time. We all have the same ambitions and goals. We want to do good for our family and for our loved ones. So being a part of a community that's like-minded is number one and is key. But also changing your environment, like where you currently are, is also key as well. But I want us to talk about personal development. First, you have to identify, what are you struggling with? When you look at your daily routine, is it random? Do you have a set time for when you do everything? Do you have a schedule? Because if you don't, these are the things that you have to start working on. So have an alarm clock. What time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? What time do you eat, right? And I also am a huge fan of going to the gym, because you have to work on your body just as much as your mind. And then when you go into the gym, write down the time. What is the sets that you're doing? All of this is helping you build a routine in your personal life so nothing is random. And then once you start building a rhythm, you're going to be able to understand how to build a rhythm and a routine when it comes to trading. Second, it's about mindset. So what you're listening to and what you're watching on a daily basis is extremely important. I know with me, I had to stop following a lot of people on social media that wasn't helping me personally. So if they're not helping you with the right mindset, if you feel like everything is a distraction, you have to delete it. You have to only follow people that helps motivate you or give you the expectations that you need to move forward with your day. Because if you feel like you're just scrolling through social media, you cannot remember what was the last post that you saw, you're just wasting your time. So you have to do a good cleanse on your social media account. And then just pick up a book. Pick up a book on trading or pick up a book on personal development, because a lot of stuff we're not taught how to become a better person. We understand, we know what does our higher self look like, right? Because you know what you want to look in the future. You know what kind of car you want to drive. You know what house you want to have. But the problem is you got to become the person first in order to get that result. But the problem is we're not taught that. So you have to find people that gives you that type of information so that you learn and you know that it's possible to get there. Another thing, guys, is just you can't quit. That's just the number one rule. You can't quit. Because I'm a firm believer, if you are dedicating all of your time and your efforts into mastering something, you will achieve it as long as you don't quit. Do not worry about time. That's the number one thing. It doesn't matter how long it's gonna take. The goal is, if you know, if I continue to work as hard today and tomorrow and the next day, the reward is eventually going to come compared to somebody that doesn't try at all. So you have to just keep going and not quit. But you have to follow the right people that gives you the right information, because sometimes you could confuse forward progress and movement, right? You're thinking you're making progress, but the thing is you're just moving forward, but you're not taking the right steps in the right direction. Sometimes that happens when we follow the wrong people on social media, right? Somebody is probably telling you, oh, trade this way. You've been trading this way for 3 years and you're thinking you're moving forward, but you're literally just on a treadmill. This is why I tell people, yo, you got to learn about fundamentals. You have to understand what drives the markets, because this is the information that's going to stick with you forever. And then add that with your technicals that you learned before. When you are actually finding a strategy that works for you, you have to work on just winning. Work on risk management, because a lot of us are great traders. Like when it comes to technicals, you know what entry to find, you understand the direction, but sometimes you could lose the trade because you're over leveraging. Usually that is the biggest killer to us all, is over leveraging. If you learn to just work on being right, not focus on money. This is what I love to tell people. Just focus on being right. You're gonna end up seeing your results coming higher and higher and higher. Then eventually you just gotta do the same thing, but just increase the lot size. But sometimes you could be right for the moment, but if you're trying to go for home runs and you do not understand why, that's why a lot of people lose those trades, right? Most times we could be right with the direction, but we could just be wrong with the timing. And the reason is because you could get a little pullback that could jeopardize your whole entire account because of over leveraging. So I recommend work on risk management, right? If you're trading an example like $100 account, do not put like a 0.50, do not put a standard lot size, because you're gonna just ruin your account with one trade and it may not even hit your stop loss. You're just gonna close your trade because of drawdown. So that's just a perfect example of just working on your risk management. Focus on just being right. Lower your lot sizes just so that you could learn how to win and win consistently. And then once you start doing that, you're gonna start building a rhythm and a routine, and just stick with it long enough so that you could identify the mistakes that you're doing, and then you could identify what works. All right, guys, I'm gonna be making a few more videos like this on psychology. Hopefully you guys like it. And for you guys that are successful or struggling, comment below your journey. What was it that you had to go through in order to make that change? Was it your personal life, right? Because with me, I had to get a good job, right? Because before, when I had a bad job, I was over leveraging my account because I was just focusing on paying my bills. But the moment that I started making more income, it gave me the opportunity to work on my craft, because I wasn't struggling and I wasn't focusing on making money today. So I was able to respect this craft and put in the right time and learn the right information. So this, like me telling this to people, could help you with your journey. So if you guys talk about it, you could help thousands of others, all right? Hopefully you like this video. Like, comment, subscribe.